good afternoon. Afternoon, everybody. Hope you're all well. Let me just know I'm coming through okay. Haven't done this in a little while, so I'm not sure if I'm actually coming through, but let me know if I am. I thought I'd just start anyway because I was here ready. So just let me know in the chat before. Yeah, good. So who's in the room today? Let's see. Einrib, hope you are well. Darren, Kat, Ian, and Ran. Welcome back, guys. Hope you all had a great holiday. Hope you all had a great new year. I was up till silly hours in the morning, but a very nice time. It's actually properly raining here today in Dubai. The first rain that I've seen in about 2 years. Can you imagine that? So you guys in the UK or in Europe are thinking, what are you talking about? But yeah, I don't know if I can show you. Let's see if I can show you. Proper gloomy skies here in Dubai. Can you see that? And ironically, we were supposed to be doing like our garden renovation works was supposed to be starting today, and obviously because of the rain, they've got to delay it. So anyway, we're back, baby. It's the 3rd of January, and a new year on the way. So what I thought would be good to do at the start of this stream, before I get into the actual charts, is go through what I kind of do on the start of the year from an annual basis, and that is my personal goals list. So I think this is important because, you know, the good thing about starting the year is it's a fresh start. You know, you've got a fresh start as a trader. There's so many possibilities for the year ahead, and that's what I like to do at the start, and just say this is what I define to do. I use personally the SMART acronym. So specific, you can see on the screen there, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Right, and I think if you're watching this, the best thing to do is to do this, you know, and one of the biggest tips I can give is to take it. Hey, I'm Rich. Hey, how you doing, mate? Is to take it from an annual perspective. So again, think of yourself. I don't think of myself now. I think about what the goals and where do I want to be in December 2022. And the reason for that is obviously trading is a long-term game, but also it helps that psychology. So for example, if I've set my goal, and my goals here are on the screen there, you can see my goal is to beat my age this year. So I'm 33, and 33 is my record, probably since I've become consistent. Not last year, the year before. So that is my personal goal. I always try and better myself or beat myself, so that is my first long-term goal. And I don't want to set out as in the quarters or monthly. You know, I'm just thinking, right, if I can go towards that target towards the end of the year, December, that for me is great. I'm still happy with the 20%, still perfectly happy with that. But, you know, I'd like to set myself a goal which I still think is certainly achievable. So that's number one. If you are kind of in the same boat, you know, if you're looking to become consistent, obviously that could be a goal of yours. If you think you're almost there, I think if you'd like to put percentage on it, maybe beating the SPX, you know, 11, 12% would be a good goal, but certainly having that specific goal in mind for December, not for January, for December, as your target for what you want to achieve. Another one of my personal goals is to gain, by bloody Everest, 2 more funded accounts. I've been trying with this 200 grand to gain 2. If I can gain 2 200 grand accounts, probably the second one with my FOREX funds, that is a personal goal of mine. Increase my equity by 400 grand would be lovely. I don't think I did last year. I had a $1 million by this Christmas, but I think because this 200 grand has taken me some time, I've kind of shifted that to 2 more. 10,000 subs on YouTube. That's a goal of mine. I'm going to start producing a lot more content. That's just separate from trading, but anyway, that's one of my goals. And another one is at least 1 member of RTFX to get a funded account. So that for me would be great. If one of our members can get a funded account, that for me would be, you know, really, I really feel good if we could get someone to do that. We've not had one yet because we are quite new, but hopefully in 2022. And number 5, obviously enjoy what I do. And if you enjoy what you do, you like waking up, you love trading, life's good, right? Life's good. So I recommend you do something like this yourself. Again, you're only, you know, don't be competing with anybody else. Don't be competing with me or any other traders you see online. The only person you're in competition with is yourself. You know, think about your own personal goals. You know, it doesn't matter. I know it's hard when you see someone saying, oh, I've made 20 grand in 1 month, because you want to be that person, right? But, you know, make sure you're just doing it for yourself. Doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. And also, if you want to be a little bit accountable, i.e., the concept of accountability in trading, some people might not have that. You might be single at home or whatever. You know, you can message me and just say, Ryan, these are my goals. This is what I'm trying to do. You know, you could be accountable to me if that would, you know, help you. So I'm happy to do that if you want to send me a message. Or put it in the chat here. We can look at it on the end of December, the last stream in December. Look back on this stream and say, right, this was my goals. Have we achieved it? Let's see. Okay, so the SPX. SPX today, we are looking okay. Despite, I saw a little bit, I don't know if any of you guys follow Yahoo. I saw a little article on the amount of money spent on basically buy now, pay later. I don't know if I can show you this. Let me see if I can show you this from Yahoo. So the buy now, pay later purchases boom. Can you see that chart there? So look at the massive amount of increase in 2021 for buy now, pay later. Now that for me is a little bit worrisome. A little bit worrisome. You know, we're getting into the stage of, it was kind of what we were doing in 2008, no? Relatively. So anyway, I don't like where the SPX is fundamentally, but we're here. And we're looking okay. We're in pullback mode. For me, it's still risk on. We could come back and retest this area. There's nothing at the moment suggesting this wants to fall right now. And just in pullback, continuation to the upside. That's got to be your bias right now. If we get some contrarian price action, then maybe we'd be a little bit different. But for me, it's risk on / pullback. So still looking at selling that yen, selling the Swiss. They have been relatively weak. Makes sense according to that SPX. Do I agree with it? Absolutely not. It'll be interesting to see what the return for this year will be on that SPX. I cannot see it doing 20s plus 25%. That's unbelievable. You know, and there is that. I go away from my biases, right? Go away from my bias in the head because I'm a technical trader. I know I'm going on a little bit this stream, but, you know, whatever. Is that when you see little graphs like this and you think about where we are and you think about, you know, for example, Megan can't get home. Megan's in the UK. She's stuck in the UK. Positive COVID. They're saying maybe she'd be there for 3 months. I don't know. It's all a bit nightmare, but job situation's not great. It's just, you know, we've got to go with the technicals, or I've got to go with the technicals, but there's just a little bit of worry around, isn't there, when you see things like that? Anyway. Okay, dollar today. Dollar's looking slightly weak. I think we're still roughly in this zone, this rangy zone with this dollar. We're getting a reaction around the support area. You have to remember with this dollar, with a weekly, we are coming from a decent trend. So even though we're getting some bearish price action now, the path of least resistance is still to the upside. Now, maybe we get some reaction here. Maybe we have an inside bar. I think it looks a little bit more bearish than it does bullish. The reason why I say that is if we look at from this impulse, you're expecting on this day, fair enough, it's over Christmas, for the dollar to push on, right? And, you know, it may have been Christmas, maybe in that lack of follow-through, lack of volume, but we didn't get that. And the dominant candle right now is certainly a red one, right? A bearish candle. So if we can get a break underneath, may cause a little bit of a worry and a possible bigger corrective. Remember, the dollar does like that 50%. Bigger corrective on the daily, possibly. Could come back here before continuation. Obviously, anything can happen. But I would wait until we get that confirmation of a break of a range here in the DXY before I make any massive predictions on where I think the dollar will go, because, you know, it's the 3rd of January. It's just London Open. It does look a little bit bearish, but until it breaks this particular range here, I'm going to sit on the fence and say, well, looks to be a rangy environment. So break underneath here looks a bit bearish. Obviously, a break above, continuation in that trend. But if I'm going to give my bias and I'm going to put myself somewhere, I would say dollar looks a little bit bearish. A bit bearish. Okay, watch this today. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is on it. Bitcoin shorts. If you're in the room, come say hello. Not been on the stream for a while. So Bitcoin here on the 1 hour chart. Smaller time frame breakout retest. We've got our head and shoulders. Quite a nice little reload, actually. Back to that 20, if I zoom in so you guys can see. Hey, Syed, mate. How you doing, Paul? How was your new year? So here's the setup. I'll zoom out one. Head and shoulders. Nice reload back to the 20, looking for a breakthrough, retest, continuation to the downside. This is actually my favorite pair. I like where the 4 hour is, and I particularly like where this daily is. We're going with that trend, right? We've had this move to the upside. Look where that move to the upside came. Okay, roughly around, probably expecting quite a few stops in that location. Big bearish move. We're now underneath these moving averages in terms of the 20, underneath that 200. Again, trend is down right now. Breakthrough here. Bitcoin could wobble a little bit. I think, hey, Tabonga, yeah, good, thank you, mate. Good, thank you. I think in terms of a longer term play on Bitcoin, I'm still looking to buy this as a longer term play. I mean, that crypto bullishness, certainly on these kind of larger coins, for me is I'm happy to do that investment wise. It's just not given me any reason to enter yet. So I like Bitcoin shorting. If I get a breakout retest there, I'll happily take that to the downside. Yeah, it was really good side. Really good. Lovely weather here now. So yeah, life's pretty good. Apart from my girlfriend not being able to get back. But apart from that, it's been all right. I had pound Swiss on my list, you know. I had this pound Swiss on my list. This is still valid unless we break here. You can notice our big V pullback corrective, another pullback corrective. We wanted this to push on from this area. It's kind of failing right now. But if we do get some bullish pressure and we don't break here for a breakout retest, pound Swiss would look okay. You know, it's on the daily chart, this price action looks a little bit less like a corrective impulse with these last kind of few days here last week. Very bullish, outside bullish engulfer. Fair enough, it's not coming on massive volume, but maybe we're getting that daily retest, continuation, change of trend. You know, remember where the SPX is. SPX is decent, you know, decent. So yeah, I don't mind the idea of that, but it's got a breakout retest move to the upside above all these moving averages on the 4. But don't mind that, pound Swiss. Einred, planning on taking a 10K FTMO. Good man. Any tips? Yes. Any tips for the 10K? Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. The 10K or the 200K, the goals are the same. My biggest tip, what would my biggest tip? I would maybe wait a week. Einrib, if you're looking to do it, I would wait a week just to get a little bit more back into the swing things. I actually like Q1. I'm normally quite good on Q1. Touch wood. Touch wood. But normally Q1 for me is decent price action. So I would wait a week. And then the main thing is obviously just be patient with it. You know, I think one of the things everyone tries to do is pass it too quickly. Just be patient, you know, and obviously, as I've said many times, aim for the free repeat rather than going for the 10%. Get the free repeat, then just go for it. But yeah, maybe a tip now would be to wait. Wait a week before you start it. I did have UZAR on my list. Remember, guys, it also is a Monday. You know, I know we've been waiting for quite some time for the markets to open, but it also is a Monday, so there's not going to be massive amounts of trading opportunities for me usually. USD ZAR again is something that has failed. Here, I was looking at our cup with handle, push through breakout retest. That has failed. I'm not going to go into that. And this pound Aussie. This pound Aussie is interesting because I like it. You know, I like it, and there's an argument here that I can take this trade right now on this break. We look at the context here. Yes, okay, we've come from this. Okay, you'd expect this to push to the upside, but we're getting this basing structure here. Volatility, this is my only worry, right? So this is good. Kind of got this, not an ABC, but certainly a volatility contraction here. Contraction before a potential breakout. You've got your trend line here, valid, then you've got your accelerated trend line, again, above those moving averages. I just don't like this because the reason why, okay, it's come on volume. It's obviously a bearish bar, but it's made this on the daily where we could be looking at ABC continuation, right? It's a counter trend trade. And I think for the 3rd of January, although in my mind, I'm like, I like it, but there's also a part of me which I don't like it. I think waiting for that breakout retest, possibly on this trend line, would be a safer play for the 3rd of January. But, you know, I like this price action. Certainly if the 4-hour closes like it does, we could call this possible just a fake out, not ready, come down, and push through. I like that. You know, I like that. But I'm going to wait for a retest before I take that to the upside. But pound Aussie, I don't mind. Pound Aussie, I don't mind. Pound USD for I'm rich. I was about to say I'm rich, but I guess it means I'm rich. Pound USD, let's have a look at pound USD. But also look at this pound Swiss. You know, on this hourly chart, you know, for me, I like to look at the closures rather than the wicks. I know if you're a liquidity trader, you look at the wicks, but for me, you've got a slight pattern there. Cup with handle, breakout, retest, potentially even on those smaller time frames. So I'm going to continue to look at this. It's not valid on the 30 because we look at the closures. This is not valid for a trade. You can get your ABC there as well. Bit of volume coming in on C wave, breakout, retest. Don't mind that. Don't mind that. Sorry, pound USD. Let's have a look at pound USD. And then I'll look at Euro USD on Rib. Yeah, no problem, mate. CAD Yen. Okay, I'll do CAD Yen as well. Pound USD looks pretty bullish. Actually doesn't look to be in a potentially bad position. I don't know if you're looking, who asked me? I presume you're looking long, right? I would expect you're looking long from just this, really. Breakout retest, nice pullback, roughly, I guess, around that 61. Push on pound USD. Dollar looks slightly weak. It's risk on. But how far has it gone, you know? This is okay. This is okay. The other alternative, it's not really a loss of momentum. No, that's not a loss of momentum. You're respecting that 20. Notice how we're respecting that 20. I just worry with how far we've come or how far we've gone on that pound dollar. I don't know if we're approaching this area. Kind of broke in this area. You're kind of into that area. I don't really like the idea of taking it long up here. I don't. You know, if we look at this as impulse, it's not really a loss of momentum, but you could argue that it is for a harder reset and then continuation on the pound dollar. I don't like from here what we're doing here. I just don't. Now, it's not saying it can't go. You could still respect that 20 for continuation, absolutely. These smaller time frames look okay. You know, I think if you get a break above here on the smaller time frames, so roughly around this downtrending anchor, short-term downtrend anchor, this would be good for pound USD to the upside. But until then, I would wait. I would just have a little bit of worry about it. I'm rich. Just have a bit of worry about it. But you're going with the trend, right? So bias has got to be to the upside. But I think that this is if you do see a break and close above here, yeah, that would look decent on pound USD for continuation a bit more. Einreb, long breakout retest on the 1 hour chart of Euro USD. Euro USD. So come on, guys, someone give me a goal. Give me a goal. Let's write it in the chat so we can look at December. What is your personal goal for 2022? Become consistent? Do you have a percentage? Let me know. Euro USD 1 hour breakout retest. I don't like this. I don't like this for a breakout retest. Einrib. When we see breakouts, if you think about it, we want to see this. This kind of trajectory or this kind of angle, because when we have this, it's a little bit too impulsive for me, moving to the downside. It's also, in terms of time frame, a bit too much. Now, I'll show you an example of why I say that. If we go to USD Mexican, because somebody asked me about USD Mexican a while ago. I think it was Griffey, actually, one of the members. So we look at this on the daily. He said to me, I'm Ryan, I'm looking for a breakout retest roughly around this area to go long, i.e. from this uptrend. But I was saying to him, I don't really like this particular price action here because it is quite strong and quite impulsive, yeah? Which is, you got our reaction. Remember that you're normally expecting some kind of reaction around these areas. We got that, but the reaction didn't follow through, and then we came down and moved to the downside, which is why in Euro USD, I don't really like that price action. Now, within my retests, I like to see between 5 to 15 candles. Right? I don't like having more than 15. I don't having less than 5. I think we're getting to the point where it just, I would be worried about it, Einrib, to be completely honest with you. I'm not saying that it can't go long, but I don't like that price action. It looks a little bit impulsive. Yeah. And also, you're kind of, technically, this is still a breakout retest. It's not, it's still technically breaking out, right? So technically, it's still okay if you want to take this long. But it just ain't clean. It ain't clean, my friend. You might see this. You know, something like that, very similar. You could get this as a longer term for moving to the upside, but I would just be a bit worried, mate. Just be a wee bit worried, pal. But I like it on the daily. I don't mind that on the daily. Actually, I don't mind that at all on the daily. Look at that. That was really nice. That could actually be a trade on that daily chart. Let's have a look at the weekly. Against the trend on the weekly, but this is what your head and shoulders is, right? Your head and shoulders is that trend change pattern. Look at this. This is nice. Look at that price action there. The only issue I would have with this is we want to see volume on the break. We haven't got that volume, but it's December, you know, or it was early January. You're probably unlikely to get that volume. Maybe we get a retest here on the daily for movement to the upside. Any other time of year, if you're at the charts, I would probably have taken that, you know. But on the smaller time frames, don't like it. Sorry, I'm just going through. Goal is to get funded. Good man, goals to get funded. Although I just missed my target last year. Good stuff. I missed my target last year as well. I was 19%. I think it was a pretty poor year for me. Although I missed out on 8% on one particular trade, but I'm not going to go into that again. So, yeah, but I can't complain about 20%. You know, I just literally can't complain. As I always say to myself, that's what Warren Buffett did. His average return was 20, so can't be moaning about 20. My goal is to be profitable with a demo account. Great, excellent. I'm new in this game. I started 6 months ago. Good stuff. Yep, demo account trading before you risk your real money. What is your opinion on the concept of supply and demand? What is my opinion on the concept of supply and demand? I don't really have a big... What can I say on that, Tabonga? I mean, when I talk about supply and demand, you're kind of talking about your support and resistance zones, roughly the same kind of concept. You could be talking about liquidity. So it depends on what actual concept you're talking about, Tabonga. So let me know in terms of supply and demand what you're actually referring to, and I can give a better opinion on it. Because you can take that a few ways, you know what I mean? Sorry, what was the last one for Darren? Darren, CAD Yen has reached a key level resistance and we just broke descending triangle on the 1 hour chart. What do you think of going short? CAD Yen. You could get some yen strength coming in considering where we are in terms of pullback on the smaller time frames. It does look a little bit bearish, does it? And look where it's come from. These things can't last forever, but then also you're kind of... Obviously, you know you're going against the trend, right? Yeah, I get that. I know that you know that, but that would make sense to me, Darren. I would rather be, put it this way, I would actually rather be selling that right now than buying it because of where we've come from. So I like your bias, but we always have to remember that you're in pullback mode, right? You're going against the trend, but as an idea, yeah, I kind of like that, mate. I kind of like that. You're kind of getting some movement here now as well. And remember, when the SPX is in this pullback mode, kind of like we are, this is where you do sometimes see this kind of price action, pullback price action, right? Because we're in pullback mode in the SPX. So, you know, if we're... Look at this trend as well. Look what we've done here. We've respected this 20, right? A few times respected this 20, respected the 20. That's what... decent trending markets, you'll notice that will respect that, you know, that 20 period. And also, look at this price action, getting a little bit climactic towards this healthy price action here. What we've got in here is a climactic move. Now, if we look at the volume on it, look at that. Look where the volume's coming in at the end of that or the top of that structure. Normally, you'd probably see an immediate reaction. We haven't gotten that. We had a correction through time, but we're failing around that 20 for movement to the downside. Yeah, I like that idea, Darren. This is my long-winded answer to a CAD yen short. So yeah, I like that. I think that's me for today. Pound Aussie, like I said, I like. Bitcoin is probably my favorite. Whether we get that breakout, let's wait and see. Pound Swiss, not sure, but yeah, I would certainly keep an eye on Bitcoin and Pound Aussie for sells and buys. Bitcoin shorts, Pound Aussie longs on a breakout retest. Anything else you guys want me to look at? I'll be obviously back online 3 times a week from now on. I will be trying to do some better videos. I'm going to do my office. I've got all these kind of stuff from my office, so I'm going to put all that in. Got some LED strip lights. I'm going to move my desk a little bit, redecorate my office. But yeah, I'm going to start putting out some better YouTube videos and hopefully get to 1,000. So also, if you can like the stream, help me get there. That would be great. I've got, 832 now. I've got 170 subs to go. Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, I appreciate it. Very profitable year. That's and again, the biggest tip I can give you this week is to do your goals and make them very specific, with a SMART concept, right? Or it's a SMART acronym. Make them very specific, right? So if let's say, for example, you want to be a full-time trader, what do you need? Like, how much capital do you need? How much savings do you need? What are your tax implications in the area? You know, make it very specific. You know that, and I just think it will help you. Another good thing. So I wrote this. You know, I actually wrote this about 4 or 5 years ago. I can't even remember what's in it, but there's maybe something you can do. You could put your little goals list in, put it in a little something, put it away until December, and then open it up in December. But I actually can't remember what's in this. But what I'm doing is I'm waiting till I get that 400K equity before I open it, because that's when I think like, oh shit, I've done it now. Man cave tour, yeah, I should do a man cave tour, yeah. I will do that, actually, when it's all done. I'll do my man cave tour. It's a good idea, actually. Content idea. All right, guys, if there's nothing else, I will love you and leave you. If you are interested in joining RTFX, the link is in the chat there. 7 days free. A great little community we've got going. Hopefully see some of you in there. If not, obviously I'm streaming here 3 times a week. If you can like the streams, that would be lovely. I'll stop annoying you when I get to 1,000. But if not, have a great Monday. Remember, it is a Monday. We know what Mondays are like. I'll see you back on Wednesday. Remember to trade safe. Cheers, guys. Peace.